So I was planning to go to YC, and then I was playing a lot of games, a lot of League of Legends at that time. So it wasn't very...
Games as in like video games?
Yeah, like online computer games. So I was a bit lazy, so I didn't write my application. But then I got a phone call from the CEO of Meizu back then. He's like, hey, we want to become more international. Do you want to help? So I had like two options. Either I have to write my application for YC, or I can go to China to join Meizu. I took the path of least resistance and didn't finish my university. I moved to Hong Kong in 2011.
For Meizu?
For Meizu.
Just for the minute, Meizu was the Apple of China that time. They were the first one to come up with a phone.
Yeah?
The first Chinese smartphone.
Yes, it was Meizu.
They made really great MP3 players before. Yeah. That's when I got to know the company. And then, to be a part of the beginning of something interesting, that's why I moved. And also out of laziness, to not have to write the thesis for university and the application for YC. And the reason why he reached out to me was because after I discovered their products in 2006, I made an online fan community about that company. And it got quite big. We got to like 70,000 users, members. We were updating like people on the new firmware updates and customization and all that stuff. And then I think he saw something in that and decided to call.
So the founder of Meizu called you himself?
The CEO.
Yeah?
The professional CEO.
Wow. Okay, and you were in Nokia for 3 months?
Yeah, that was before that, just for like a summer internship.
Right. And after Meizu?
So I didn't stay that long. I think I stayed like a year. I left because I quickly realized that it was a family business. So the key positions were all family members, and it's hard to build a very big company like that, I think.
Was the professional CEO a family member?
He wasn't, but imagine how hard it was for him to do his work. But head of finance, head of international, it's probably not going to work. So I started applying for jobs. I applied for Xiaomi. I applied for Oppo. I applied for another company that's no longer here called Smartisan.
Yeah. Smartisan, they had that.
This is based on Bangalore-based startup, right?
No. This is based out of Beijing.
Yeah, back in the day.
With their Hammer UI and all that. Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, they did some good design.
Yeah.
So the Smartisan guy never responded to me. I interviewed at Xiaomi and Oppo. And to be honest, I think back then Xiaomi was a rocket ship, like a venture-backed. I think Sequoia and like a bunch of really well-known VCs were backing them.
DST and all those
DST.
guys. Yeah.
So I was actually quite intimidated by the people I met there. Like everybody that interviewed with me at Xiaomi felt very aggressive, like results-oriented, very smart. Whereas when I interviewed with Oppo, it felt more like a traditional manufacturing culture. So selfishly, I thought that if I join this less aggressive culture, I can shine more.
Did you get a job at Xiaomi as well?
I dropped out of the interview process after we made an agreement with Oppo at that time. Yeah, so then Oppo also saw the rise of Xiaomi, because Xiaomi was selling phones online. They were the first to do that in the world. And they could undercut the other people because the distribution cost was a lot lower. So Oppo was also trying to find a strategy to hedge against the rise of Xiaomi. So they created a new brand called OnePlus, supposed to be online. By leveraging the supply chain that Oppo had built, because Xiaomi was still building their supply chain, they didn't have those advantages.
Is OnePlus still a part of Oppo?
Yeah. So then I had just joined, and I was like, hey, I can't just join and then you start a new company. Like I want to be a part of the new company. And then I was told that the new company is not for international, it's just for China, to fight Xiaomi in China. But I kind of made the case that it doesn't hurt, right? Like if I can run international, it's all free money. Like you guys can still focus on China and everything else is just extra on top of that. So that's how I, in the beginning, got the opportunity. I was only 24 to run international.
Were you more a marketing person at this point, or were you more the technical person at this point?
I was more marketing, I think. I was kind of like because ever since I was 12 and I got that computer, I started making websites, and then I built traffic, sold advertising. So like just I had a deep desire to make money when I was young. So more like business/marketing, just trying to make it work, hustling. So that's kind of what we did. After 1 year, after launching the product at OnePlus, China did $100 million in revenue. International did 200 million. China lost money, international made money. And then we decided to pivot the entire company to be more focused on international because the competition in China was too high.
Yeah.
So that was the OnePlus journey. Spent 7 years at OnePlus. Very grateful because I was just a kid, like being able to participate in such a high capex industry without needing to use my own money. I didn't have money. So very grateful for all those opportunities, allowing me to fail with a lot of crazy ideas and learning from those. Ultimately, so it's kind of like a CPG strategy where we buy components from different suppliers, we package the components, and we have a unique position in the market, design, brand, and sell the product. I had done that for 7 years. I didn't feel like that's what I wanted to do my entire life. I want to not only implement other people's technology, I also want the opportunity to eventually impact how people use technology. So I knew I had to go independent. So I left in 2020 in September. And on my birthday, that was like a birthday gift for myself. And started this new company called Nothing. It's been 4.5 years. We underestimated the difficulty in building this, but we're still around. So very grateful to still have opportunities to build a company. But it was a bit tougher than we expected.
And
Are you branding your phone by keeping it there?
Yeah, some free exposure.
It has a very distinctive back, right?
Yeah, so that's our entire thing. It's a very mature industry, and it's very hard to compete because everybody is at very high scale. So they have a lot of advantages. We're not reinventing the category. It was invented a long time ago by somebody else. So for us, it's all about carving out a small position in the market first. We don't have to have everybody love us. It's okay if 90% of people don't care about us or hate us, as long as we get a niche group of consumers to really love us. That works in our industry because it's so big. Maybe it doesn't work for smaller categories. So for us, we chose to differentiate through design because it was the fastest way to differentiate. If we picked, technology, it would take years to play out. A lot of investment, a lot of years. We also didn't want to reinvent the product category. Like, if we have crazy ideas on a new gadget, we might spend years on trying to build it, and then if we launch it, you only have one chance. If people don't like it, you're screwed. Yeah, so we start with hardware design, then we move to software design. Now we're investing more and more into the OS itself, into AI. So I think for us, it's about building differentiation and moats over time, but in a gradual way. Don't move too fast because then you might kind of fall off the horse.